to Zoom and speak to Assistant Commissioner of Policy and Programs at the Customs Division of the VRA, Aware Julius Kantum. Mr. Kantum, good afternoon. Thank you so much for your time. We just want to have a bit of an understanding on this particular bill and how it is supposed to work. You know, now that we're getting the minority opposing it and all of that. But you are a technocrat. Tell us what we need to know about this bill. First of all, when does it start?
Good afternoon, and I'm happy to be here. First of all, the law will take effect from the 1st of November.
Okay. So
the bill was assented to and became law on the 30th of April 2020. And then there was a 6-month grace period. After that, it will come into effect. And that date is 1st November 2020.
Okay, so 1st of November 2020. So it means that any vehicle that is supposed to get to Ghana by 1st of November will have to be checked for how old it is. And if it is 10 years, it would be what? Sent back, confiscated?
No. And please, let's understand the key provisions of the amendment.
Okay.
There's the first one that is in respect of vehicles under Chapter 87. And that chapter is for motor cars that are principally designed for the transport of persons.
Okay.
Those ones, unless and until the minister by legislative instrument appoints or specifies a date, that provision of 35% import duty will not happen. In the same vein, the one on overage vehicles, that is vehicles that are over 10 years of age, that can only come into effect when, in consultation with the Minister of Trade, a legislative instrument spells out the conditions and all the necessary regulations that would happen before the law takes effect.
Okay, so
now, the only thing that would take effect on the 1st of November is in respect of salvage motor vehicles.
So I just needed to understand. So the salvage motor vehicles, what's going to happen to them on 1st of November if you have some coming in?
Now, maybe you have to just find out what actually is a salvage vehicle, and that is important.
Okay. Because
the law defines what a salvage motor vehicle is. And for that matter, let me just read verbatim from the law. It says, salvage motor vehicle means a motor vehicle which A, has been wrecked, destroyed, or physically damaged by collision, fire, water, or any other occurrence, and B, does not have a clean title. So it means salvage vehicles are vehicles that are damaged, physically damaged, either by collision, by fire, or by some other occurrence.
Okay.
And it does not have clean title.
Okay. Okay. So those vehicles, are there any considerations of the extent of damage, or as long as it is damaged and it doesn't have a title, it's not permitted to enter this country?
Yes, that's precisely the point.
Okay.
So currently, the position of the law is that once it's a salvage motor vehicle, that is that it is damaged either by collision, fire, and all the factors that we have enumerated, and does not have a clean title. Now, maybe I should just explain what a clean title is. A clean title essentially means that a vehicle that is not damaged, that is not a salvage vehicle.
Yeah.
If you want to put it that way. Now, all new cars definitely have clean titles. All pre-owned cars that have not had any issues would have clean titles.
Yeah.
Used cars can still be imported insofar as they have clean titles.
And they are not damaged.
That is a point that has to be made, because people think that with the law, it means that used cars cannot be imported. That is not the position of the law.
Okay.
The law says salvage motor vehicles from the 1st of November cannot be imported. Okay,
okay. I'm sure that we'll have more time to be engaging you further on this. So if you're listening or if you're watching and you need a clarification, I mean, what you ought to take home is that by 1st of November, you can still import used vehicles, but those vehicles must not be damaged and they should come with titles. Mr. Kantum, I got that correct, right?
Yeah, that's correct. Absolutely correct. That is that.
Okay. And as to whether or not we will be as whether or not the entire thing happens or begins to happen, the entire law takes effect on November. You said we'll need to wait for the consultations to go through.
There are the other provisions that people obviously are interested in. The Amendments Act itself, it was intended to provide incentives for the automotive assemblers and then manufacturers. It was not, I mean, to as it were, make it impossible for people to bring in cars, as the interpretation appears to be the case. Now, in providing for those incentives for the automotive manufacturers and assemblers, it was also important that those kind of cars, like the salvage vehicles, which are imported so heavily into Ghana, if they were allowed to be imported, they will crowd out the market for the assemblers and then automotive manufacturers, and that would be a disincentive to them. And that is precisely the reason why that provision of the law was put in.
Okay, well, consultations are still ongoing. The minority in Parliament are calling for some sort of a suspension or amendment. So we'll still have more conversations on this. We thank you so much for your time, sir. I've been talking to Assistant Commissioner of Policy and Programs at the Customs Division of the GRA, Awea Julius Kantum. By 1st of November, if you have a vehicle that is damaged, that doesn't have title, you cannot bring them into the country.